Yeah, and welcome back, my fellow pixelers, and today we're going to be finally moving on to the shading in for Zoro now. So only a couple more parts, so this build is finished, and then we'll be moving on to the 100 sub special and a couple other specials that I've got saved up for you guys. Now, with that note being said, for today's blocks that we're going to be using for the shading, we're going to be doing pretty much most of the chest area, as this is the biggest area and probably the easiest area to get done first, so we'll get this area done first. And for those blocks, we're going to be using our terracotta, our chisel sandstone, and our brown mushroom block. So pretty much mostly just chisel sandstone and terracotta, but we do have a small area with brown mushroom block for the shading in the body area. Now, with that being said, let's move on to today's area that we are going to be flying over to. So we're going to be flying all the way to the bottom of the build, and we're going to be using our terracotta first. And we want to fly actually to the very center of the bottom. So we're going to be flying all the way to this line right here. So as you can see, to the left of the scar area right here, this line just right in the center right here, we'll be flying all the way over to here, and we want to fly all the way over to the bottom of this line. So once you have flown to the bottom of this line right here, we're going to start off by placing 4 terracotta going to the left from the bottom. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, just like so. And there we go, we should be looking like this right there on Zoro, as you can see. Once you have done this, fly back into that 4. Now once you've flown to this 4 right here, I'm going to start by placing 6 going up from here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Once you place 6 going up and doing up left diagonal. From this up left diagonal, we're going to place 5 on top this time. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Then do another up left diagonal. From this up left diagonal, place 2 on top, so 1 and 2. Then do another up left diagonal. This time from this up left diagonal, we're going to place 3 going to the left, so 1, 2, and 3. Once you place this 3 to the left, we're going to do 3 bottom left diagonals, so 1, 2, and 3. And there we go. From this third bottom left diagonal, place 1 underneath, just like so. And then we're going to do 12 bottom left diagonals from here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. And there you go. As you can see, that 12th, 11 bottom diagonal that we just did should have connected to the ground just like so. Now once you've done this, for those that are new and don't know what we usually do, what we usually do is we outline the entire section pretty much, so the outer line for the terracotta. So terracotta is basically going to go up here. Obviously we've got more shaded areas up here, but we're basically doing the very outer line. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take our other block, which is our chisel sandstone, which is our lighter area, and on the inside right here is going to be filled in with all chisel sandstone. So what we're going to do is get our chisel sandstone, and we're just going to mark the outside of the terracotta just like so. So we're not filling it all in, we're just filling in the outside to mark up the area. So basically what this does for us is that we know chisel sandstone is going to go in this area, and terracotta is going to go above in the area, obviously, when we cap off the top part. So we're just going to mark all of this out with our chisel sandstone. So I will be filling this in and show you what it looks like when we are at the end of today's part that we're doing. So I'll fill it all in at the end, but we won't be filling it in now. So there you go, you should be looking like that right there. So once again, for those that usually do this, you know how things work. We just do the outer edge, and then we mark it with our other shaded block, so we know which area goes in which. So chisel sandstone is going to go on the side there. Now if you want to pause the video and fill all of that in now, you can do that. Or if you just want to wait to the end and see a reference, or just wait till you mark everything out for today, then you can do that. But without further ado, we're going to fly to the next area. So for the next area, we're going to be flying back to this line, and we're going to be continuing off from here again. But this time, we're going to fly all the way up to the top to that 2 right there. So fly all the way to the top of the 2. Once you have flown to the top of the 2, we're going to start by placing 1 terracotta on top. And there we go. Once you place that 1 on top, do an upright diagonal. From this upright diagonal, we're going to place 1 on top, just like so. And then we're going to do 4 upright diagonals. So 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, just like so. And from this 4 upright diagonal, we're going to place 2 to the right. So 1 and 2. And then we're going to do a bottom right diagonal. And from this bottom right diagonal, place 1 to the right. And then we're going to do 3 bottom right diagonals. So 1, 2, and 3. And then there we go. From this third bottom right diagonal, we're going to place 1 to the right, just like so. And then we're going to do another bottom right diagonal from here. From this bottom right diagonal, place 1 to the right. And then we're going to do another bottom right diagonal. This time though, we're going to place 2 going to the right. So 1 and 2. Should be looking like that right there. Once you've done this, then we're going to do another bottom right diagonal from here. And from this bottom right diagonal, we're going to place 1 to the right. And there we go. And then we're going to do another bottom right diagonal from here. And from this bottom right diagonal, we're going to place 1 to the right again. Just like so. And then do another bottom right diagonal. This time from this bottom right diagonal, we're going to place 3 going to the right. So 1, 2, and 3. Just like so. And then we're going to do 2 bottom right diagonals. So 1 and 2. From the second bottom right diagonal, we're going to place 2 to the right. So 1 and 2. And then we're going to do another bottom right diagonal. Then from this bottom right diagonal, we're going to place 1 to the right. And then we're going to do 2 bottom right diagonals. So 1 and 2. From the second bottom right diagonal, we're going to place 1 to the right, just like so. And then we're going to do 4 bottom right diagonals from here. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. And there you go, your fourth one should connect to the ground just like so. And if you place 1 terracotta to the right, it should connect to that 1 bottom right diagonal with the black concrete right there. And if it does connect to there, that means you've done everything correctly right there. And then once you've done this, we're going to fly to the right to the black concrete. So we want to be floating on top of this black concrete right now. And once you're on this black concrete right here, we're then going to place 3 terracotta going up from here. So 1, 2, and 3, just like so. Once you place 3 going up, we then want to do an up left diagonal. From this up left diagonal, we're going to place 1 on top, just like so. And then we're going to do 7 up left diagonals from here. So 1, and 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And there you go. From this 7th up left diagonal, we're going to place 1 to the left, just like so. Once you've done this, we're then going to do 3 up left diagonals. So 1, 2, and 3. From this third up left diagonal, place 1 to the left, just like so. And then we're going to do 2 up left diagonals. So 1 and 2. From the second up left diagonal, we're going to place 1 to the left, just like so. And then we're going to do 5 up left diagonals from here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then from this 5th up left diagonal, we're going to place 2 on top. So 1 and 2. And then finally but not least, we're going to do another up left diagonal from here. And then there we go. Once we've done this, we're then going to zoom out from here. So once again, we're going to take our odd chisel sandstone, we're going to mark out a couple areas. So underneath this first area that we did with the terracotta right here, on the underneath once again, we're just going to mark it out with our chisel sandstone all down here in this area. So we'll mark out this area first. So this area is actually like the largest area for the terracotta. It's very big, but we just got to get to all those areas, as there is a lot of black concrete lines that mark out around the area as well. And we're almost at the end of it right here. Oh, bit hard to place underneath here. And there we go. So, as you can see, chisel sandstone is going to go all underneath here, and terracotta is going to go above inside that area, and all up here when we mark out those areas. And then we're just going to fly to the other side of this terracotta. So, as you can see, terracotta is going to go underneath inside these gaps right here. So, with our chisel sandstone just on top of the terracotta, we're just going to mark it out. So, again, you don't really need to count these areas, because all you got to do is mark out on top, just like so. And you want to make sure you really only layer it 1 layer or at least 2 layers. But sometimes there can be other shaded areas really close by, so it's best to keep it one, but at the same time it doesn't matter too much because I'll tell you if we need to really keep it one layer thick. And there you go. There's that area marked out right there. So for the next area that we're going to go off next, we're going to fly all the way over to the right, and we want to fly to this mini section right here on the black concrete. And we want to fly to the line that's going in bottom left diagonal direction. So as you can see, there's 4 bottom left diagonals right there. We're going to fly to the bottom of the 4 bottom left diagonals first. Once you've flown over to these 4 bottom left diagonals, once again taking out our terracotta, we're then going to do a bottom left diagonal from here. From this bottom left diagonal, we're going to place 1 underneath, so just like so, and then we're going to do another bottom left diagonal. And then from this bottom left diagonal, we're going to place another 1 underneath, just like so. And there we go, we're done with that little part right there. But once we've done this, we then need to fly all the way up this black concrete line, so back up to this single upright diagonal from the 2 right here. So flying towards here, and once you're flying towards here with our terracotta, once again we're going to do 2 upright diagonals, so 1 and 2, and there we go, we're done with this little part here. So terracotta is going to go all inside this little section inside here. So taking out our chisel sandstone on the outside, we're just going to place chisel sandstone on top of the terracotta. So you can skip the black concrete if you want, but I'm just going to go over it because why not? And there we go. So as you can see, terracotta is going to go all inside there, and chisel sandstone is going to go on the outside in those areas that's going to be marked out over. So once we've done this, we're going to be flying over to the next area, and we're going to be still in this area right here, so underneath the peck area. And for the area that we are going to be going off, we're going to be flying up just onto this line right here, as you can see. So this line we're looking at, and we want to be looking at those 2 bottom left diagonals right there. And we're going to be flying over towards that second bottom left diagonal. So let's fly over towards here. Once again, we're going to take out our terracotta, and with our terracotta, we're going to place 6 going underneath from this second bottom left diagonal. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Once you place 6 going underneath, do another bottom left diagonal from here. From this bottom left diagonal, we're going to place 1 underneath, just like so, and then we're going to do another bottom left diagonal. From this bottom left diagonal, place 2 underneath, so 1 and 2, and then do another bottom left diagonal. And from this bottom left diagonal, place 1 underneath. We're then going to do another bottom left diagonal, and from this bottom left diagonal, we're going to place another 1 underneath, and then we're going to do another bottom left diagonal. And this time we're going to place 2 underneath, so 1 and 2. We're then going to do another bottom left diagonal from here. From this bottom left diagonal, place 1 underneath, and then this time we're going to do 2 bottom left diagonals, so 1 and 2. From the second bottom left diagonal, place 1 underneath, and then we're going to place 1 to the right, and then we're going to do an upright diagonal from here. From this upright diagonal, we're going to place 1 to the right, just like so, and then we're going to do 3 upright diagonals, so 1, 2, and 3. From this third upright diagonal, we're going to place 1 to the right, just like so. And from this one that we placed to the right just now, we're now going to do 12 upright diagonals from here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and 7, and 8, and 9, and 10, and 11, and 12, just like so. And from this 12th upright diagonal that we just did right here, we're then going to do a bottom right diagonal from here. And from this bottom right diagonal, we're going to place 5 underneath. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Then we're going to do another bottom right diagonal. And then we're going to place another 5 underneath this bottom right diagonal. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And just like so. And there you go. That 5 that we just placed underneath should have connected on top of this 3 black concrete going up right here from this area. So as you can see, it's the first 3 that's going down from here. Not that 3 right there. And the 3 on its own. So once you have done all of this, we're then going to take out our chisel sandstone. And once again, on the bottom hand side, we're going to mark it out. So as you can see, all terracotta is going to go all inside here up to the black concrete right there. So we're just going to take out a chisel sandstone, and on the underneath, we're just going to mark it out. So I never cut out the mark out just because it's better to show it. I think it's a lot easier to show it as well being happening. Not to mention it's not like we're filling it in, so it's not like it's going to take 30 minutes or an hour to fill in, because, well, this build definitely going to take a long time to fill everything in, that is. But you can always take your time, you don't always have to fill it all in at once, as, you know, not all the shading is going to be all in one video as well, so you've always got a nice time to take a break. And again, you don't have to always do it all in one video now. You always take your time at any time. And there we go. So, as you can see, terracotta inside and chisel sandstones are all going to be underneath. So for the next area that we're going to be going off, still on the right side, but we're going to be flying over to the sky area, going all the way to the right here. So we're going to be capping off this area right here. So let's fly all the way over to this black concrete line from the sky that's going all the way to the right. So fly all the way to the right of this line right here. Once you've flown to here, we're going to take out our terracotta once again, and with our terracotta, we're going to place 6 going to the right from here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and then we're going to do an upright diagonal. From this upright diagonal, we're going to place 1 to the right, and then we're going to do another upright diagonal, and there we go, we're done with that little part right there. So we're just going to take out our chisel sandstone, and on the underneath, we're just going to mark out the chisel sandstone underneath. And there we go. So as you can see so far, chisel sandstone is going to go in all these areas right here. So all underneath down here, as you can see we marked it here, it's going to go all up into there. It's all going to go up into that gap there, and it's all going to go down there. And as you can see, terracotta's inside there, and inside there, and as you can see we haven't marked out all the rest of it yet. So we're now going to mark out those areas. So for the next area that we're going to be going off, we're going to be continuing on from the scar, but for the area that we're going to be going off, we fly all the way to the bottom of the scar, so to this line right here. We want to fly to the next point that branches off. So this little small point right here, as you can see, that we're looking at. And for this area that we're going to be going off, we're going to be going off to that one that's just sticking underneath the 2x2 square in the center. So that one right there. We want to fly over towards here. Once you've flown to this one sticking underneath right here, we want to take out our terracotta, and we're going to place 1 to the left of here, then fly back into the right, so back to this one sticking underneath, and we're then going to do the bottom right diagonal. Now I'm just going to zoom out quickly. Let's just show you what we should be looking like right there. So we should be looking like that right there, as you can see. Once you've then done this, we're going to fly to that bottom right diagonal that we did with the terracotta. So we do this side first. So then, once you've flown to this bottom right diagonal, we're then going to start off by doing another bottom right diagonal from here. Just like so. And from this bottom right diagonal, we're going to place 6 going to the right from here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Then we're going to do another bottom right diagonal from here. And then from this bottom right diagonal, we're going to place 8 going to the right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Once you place 8 going to the right, we're then going to do an upright diagonal. And from this upright diagonal, we're going to place 2 to the right. So 1 and 2. And then we're going to do another upright diagonal. And then from this upright diagonal, we're going to place 1 to the right. Just like so, and then we're going to do another upright diagonal, and from this upright diagonal we're going to place 2 to the right this time, so 1 and 2, and then we're going to do another upright diagonal. From this upright diagonal, place 1 to the right, and then we're going to do another upright diagonal, and there we go. And as you can see, that upright diagonal we just did has connected to the right of this black concrete line right here onto the nipple area. And once we have done this, we're then going to fly all the way up to the top of this nipple area, and we're going to be flying to the 2 that's sticking up right here. And we want to fly to the very top one of the 2, so to this one right here. Once you've flown over to the top one right here, we're then going to place 1 going to the right from here. Just like so. From this one that we just placed to the right, we're then going to do 4 right diagonals. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. And there you go. And from this 4th upright diagonal, we're going to place 1 on top, just like so, and then we're going to do another upright diagonal, and then we're going to place 4 going up from this upright diagonal, so 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then we should have connected the black concrete just like so, and then if we take our terracotta again and place 3 going to the right from here, so 1, 2, and 3, and you should connect to that bottom right diagonal, or that up left diagonal you can say, right there. So once we have connected to there, we're then going to zoom out. So once you've done this, we're then going to take out our chisel sandstone. And with our chisel sandstone, we're just going to fill on top of the terracotta, so all above. And also inside that little area right there, so in the nipple area, that's also all going to be chisel sandstone inside there as well. So no terracotta is being shaded in there. So we're just going to take out chisel sandstone and just fill in these areas. And there we go. Just going to mark all this out. And you might as well mark out the inside in here, or just fill it all in, as it is a small area. You can fill it all in if you want, just quickly. Just like I'm doing right now, as you can see. There we go. And then if you want to fill it on top, you can fill it on top as well. And there we go, we're done right there. So again, as you can see, terracotta is going to go all inside here, and chisel sandstone is going to go all above up to here. Now, for the next area that we're going to be going over to, we're going to be flying over to that one terracotta that we placed to the left. That one black concrete that was sticking underneath. So back to this area right here. Once again, we're going to take out our terracotta. So once you've flown to this one terracotta going to the left, and you're taking out your terracotta, we're going to start off by doing a bottom left diagonal from this terracotta right here. Just like so. And then we're going to do an up left diagonal. And from this up left diagonal, we're going to place 3 to the left. So 1, 2, and 3, just like so. We're then going to do another up left diagonal. And from this up left diagonal, we're going to place 2 to the left. So 1 and 2. We're then going to do another up left diagonal from here. And from this up left diagonal, we're going to place 3 to the left this time. So 1, 2, and 3. And then we're going to do another up left diagonal. And then this time, we're going to place 2 to the left again. So 1 and 2. We're then going to do another up left diagonal. And this time, we're going to place another 2 to the left. So 1 and 2. And then we're going to do another up left diagonal. And we're going to place 1 to the left, just like so. Once you place that 1 to the left, do another up left diagonal, and from this up left diagonal, place 2 to the left, so 1 and 2. Once you've done this, we're then going to do 5 up left diagonals from here, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And there you go. As you can see, that 5th up left diagonal should connect to this black concrete right here. And there should be one black concrete sticking above it, just like so. Then, flying to that one black concrete that's sticking up right here, so you could say from this terracotta, flying it up left diagonal direction by 1 to this black concrete, we're just going to fill in this 2 gap right here with our terracotta. Just like so. And then once you filled in that 2 gap, fly to the next black concrete above it, and then we're going to fill in this 4 inside here as well. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, and just like so. Once you've done this, we're then going to fly all the way up to the top. So this middle line right here, so to mark out the chest area right here, we're going to be flying all the way up to the top of this line, so to this singular upright diagonal from that 2 right there. Once you've flown towards here with our terracotta, we're going to place 2 going up from here. So 1 and 2, just like so. We're then going to do an upright diagonal. And from this upright diagonal, we're going to place 1 on top, just like so. And from this one that we place on top, do another upright diagonal. And from this upright diagonal, place another 1 on top, just like so. And then we're going to do 6 upright diagonals from here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And from the 6th upright diagonal, we're going to place 1 to the right. And then we're going to do 2 upright diagonals. So 1 and 2. And from the 2nd upright diagonal, place 2 to the right. So 1 and 2. And as you can see, that second one that we placed to the right should be on top of this black concrete line right here. So on top of this 5 right here, as you can see from the sword. And then we're going to zoom out. So again, we're not quite done yet. We're not going to mark out this area quite yet. We're going to fly all the way over to the left. So as you can see, part of the chest area that comes down here, we're going to be flying all the way down to this line that's coming off from the sword right here. So that 2 sticking out to the right here in the middle. We're going to fly all the way over to the end right here. Once you've flown towards the end of this 2, once again with our terracotta, we're going to do 2 bottom right diagonals. So 1 and 2. From the second bottom right diagonal, we're then going to place 4 to the right. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. We're then going to do an upright diagonal. And from this upright diagonal, flying to the right by 1, so to this black concrete right here, that our terracotta is connected to. And we're then going to place 2 underneath from here. So 1 and 2. And from those 2 that we placed underneath, we're going to fly underneath by 1, so to this black concrete line right here that we connected to. And we're then going to place 1 terracotta going underneath from here. Once you place 1 terracotta going underneath, we're then going to do 3 bottom left diagonals. So 1, 2, and 3. And from this 3rd bottom left diagonal, we're going to place 1 underneath, just like so. And from this one that we just placed underneath, we're then going to do a bottom left diagonal from here. And there we go. Once in this bottom left diagonal, we're then going to place 2 underneath. So 1 and 2, just like so. Once you place this 2 underneath, do another bottom left diagonal. From this bottom left diagonal, we're going to place another 2 underneath. So 1 and 2. We're then going to do another bottom left diagonal from here. This time we're going to place 3 underneath. So 1, 2, and 3. Once you place this 3 underneath, do another bottom left diagonal. And this time we're going to place 2 underneath again. So 1 and 2. We're then going to do another bottom left diagonal. And from this bottom left diagonal, we're going to place 4 underneath this time. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Then once you place 4 underneath, do another bottom left diagonal. And then this time we're going to place 5 underneath. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then we're going to do another bottom left diagonal. And from this bottom left diagonal, we're going to place 3 underneath. So 1, 2, and 3. We're then going to do 2 bottom left diagonals. So 1 and 2. And from the second bottom left diagonal, we're going to place 1 to the left this time. Just like so. We're then going to do another bottom left diagonal. And from this bottom left diagonal, we're going to place 4 going to the left. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Just like so. Then we're going to do another bottom left diagonal. Then from this bottom left diagonal, we're going to place 3 to the left. So 1, 2, and 3. And then we're going to do another bottom left diagonal. And then from this bottom left diagonal, we're going to place another 3 to the left. So 1, 2, and 3. And then we're going to do another bottom left diagonal from here. And from this bottom left diagonal, we're then going to place 5 to the left. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Then we're going to do another bottom left diagonal from here. And from this bottom left diagonal, we're going to place 2 to the left. So 1 and 2. And then we're going to do another bottom left diagonal from here. And from this bottom left diagonal, we're then going to place another 5 to the left. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then we're going to do another bottom left diagonal from here. And from this bottom left diagonal, we're then going to place 3 to the left. So 1, 2, and 3. Just like so. And then we're going to do another bottom left diagonal from here. And from this bottom left diagonal, place another 3 to the left. So 1, 2, and 3. And do another bottom left diagonal. From this bottom left diagonal, place another 3 to the left. So 1, 2, and 3. And then we're going to do another bottom left diagonal. And from this bottom left diagonal, we're then going to place 6 going to the left. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Then we're going to do an upper left diagonal from here. And then from this upper left diagonal, we're going to place 5 going to the left from here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then we're going to do 5 up left diagonals from here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And from this 5th up left diagonal, we're then going to place 1 on top. And then we're going to do 2 upright diagonals. So 1 and 2. Then from the second upright diagonal, we're going to place 1 on top. Then fly underneath by 1. So back to this one right here. And then we're going to place 1 to the right. And there we go. We're done with this little part right here. So for the next areas that we're going to explain to mark out. So as you can see, terracotta is going to go all inside this gap down here, all down here, inside here, and all inside there. So we're going to take out our chisel sandstone, and on the left hand side, we're just going to mark with our chisel sandstone all on top of the terracotta, just on the left hand side, just like so. And then we're going to do exactly the same on the right hand side as well, of this area right here. With our chisel sandstone, we're just going to mark all the way on top, on the right hand side here as well. And then on that terracotta piece right there, underneath is going to be with our chisel sandstone right there. So, without further ado, let's mark out the left hand side first. Once again, the nipple area right here is all going to be chisel sandstone as well. So we just mark all the side here first. Just like so. And then mark out this area here. So this is going to be the final part for the day. I'm not going to extend it too long, as there is going to be a lot of filling in involved. So we'll mark out the rest of the areas in the next part, which will be just finishing up on the smaller areas. And to be honest, the smaller areas actually take a longer time because there's so many mini areas to get to. That's why I'll leave those other parts in the arms pretty much separate. So for today, we've pretty much just done the chest area. And then fly on the right hand side. And we are probably going to mark out another area with our chiseled sandstone just so we know where we're going to finish off for today or leave inside. But we'll quickly see where we can maybe leave an area off. Or we'll probably get our gold block instead. That might be easier. But again, just mark this out first and then we'll worry about that afterwards. And there we go, that should be everything marked out so far. So as you can see so far, chiseled sandstone is going to be all inside here and all inside there. So actually, by the looks of things, we don't actually have to mark out another area because the sword is going over. So that's good, because that basically means we can keep all the areas that we've done today in one limited area. So without further ado, for the explaining. So, chiseled sandstone is going to go all inside here, up above, inside this area, until it hits all the black concrete outlines, obviously. And then exactly the same on the right hand side. Chiseled sandstone is going to go all inside this area, inside here, up to here. Also, that one little gap right there as well, you can see in the scar, that is filled in with chiseled sandstone, that one tiny gap right there. But leave that area there because that's part of the fist. And then underneath, chiseled sandstone is going to go all inside this little area right here, all inside there, and going down there. And then underneath in that little part there, and underneath in that little part there. And then our terracotta, that's going to go inside this part right here. Inside there, inside this little part, going all the way down into here, and then it's going to go all inside here, pretty much all to the left, then it's going to go down here, and it's also going to go all the way down the right, up to there, and it's also going to be in that gap over there, and that small gap right there. Now with all that being said, I'm now going to shade all of this in. So you've got two options to do right now. So your first option is, you can either pause the video right now and fill it all in for yourself, and what I mean by that is basically you can see the end result for yourself. If you don't want to see my end result and you want to see what yours looks like and just what the build looks like so far, then you can see your own result by just pausing the video right now. Or if you want a reference to make sure that you don't go wrong and make sure you get everything correctly, so you see my end result and then you're just going to copy my end result to make sure yours looks correct and exactly the same. But as we have marked everything out, you can do the other option and just fill it all in yourself, because you should know where to fill it in and see the end result for yourself. But if you don't want to do that and just to be extra safe, then you can pause the video right now. And there you go, as you can see, we filled in all those areas that were meant to be filled in. So all the chiseled sandstone's been filled in on the left hand side where we marked it all out, all on the right hand side as well up here, all down below here inside those gaps, underneath that little section there, underneath that little section there, and terracotta's been filled in all the rest of the areas, just like so. So once you have done everything right here, that is the end of today's part, and in the next part we shall be finishing the rest of the shading in for the body area, and we'll be doing the hands, the fists, and just pretty much all the shoulders as well, and that'll be all of that area done. Again, we won't be doing the face. Before we move on to the face, we'll be doing the fun part after this next part. We'll be doing the swords after we do the next part, which the swords are probably all going to get their own separate video for shading, because wow, there's a lot of detail in the swords and a lot of colours, so it's going to take quite a long time, so they're probably all going to get their separate parts. But next part will be the rest of the body, and then next after that will be the swords, and then finally after that will be the head and hair. Well, now with all that being said, I'll see you in the next one. So if you enjoyed this build so far, feel free to go and hit that like button. It helps out the channel a lot and it's much appreciated. And if you're new to the channel, or if you haven't subscribed yet and you find yourself coming back often, then make sure to go and hit that subscribe button, because it does help a lot. Now with all that being said, I'll see you in the next one. So peace out, enjoy the rest of your day, and goodbye.